Hello, welcome back to the KBS podcast. I am Jake Ressler. I am a second year film production major at OSU, and I am the creative director of KBS.
Hi, my name is Jackie. I'm one of the co-presidents of KBS this year. I'm a third year majoring in economics.
Yeah, today we have three groups we're meeting with. Jackie, do you want to introduce them?
So today we're going to be talking to CASA, HKSA, and CSSS.
Yes, we have a lot to get through, so let's get right on into it.
So hi, I'm Jessica Huang. I am the president for the Chinese American Student Association this year. I am a fourth year industrial systems engineer.
I'm Sheem from Hong Kong SA. I joined Hong Kong SA this year, so I'm kind of like new to all this stuff.
Yeah, my name is Jacob. I use him pronouns. I'm a third year double major in political science and psychology, and I serve as the external vice president for the Chinese Students and Scholars Society, which is aka CSSS. Yeah.
So like, how's everybody doing, especially with all the COVID situations? Okay, anybody can start.
It's fine, it's a rough week with like all the midterms coming up, and but I'm almost done with it. I want more next week, but I'm gonna go to bed early today finally.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Honestly, a lot of my classes are project-based, so I had like a presentation yesterday, but I don't have too many like formal midterms at this point, which I really enjoy.
For COVID, I think one thing I missed is, a way to de-stress is just to hang out with your friends and then, to go out and eat and stuff, but it's really tough now. And then with midterms coming up, there's no way for me to de-stress through that. So it's kind of quite upsetting. But other than that, you have to find new ways to de-stress, taking a nap, whatever.
I found so much retail therapy. It's so bad.
Yeah, same. I've been buying so much stuff lately.
So can you guys go through and just say what your club does and stuff and what club you're a part of and things like that?
I'm part of the Chinese American Student Association, also known as CASA. Primarily, we're here to promote Chinese culture to those on campus and just like the community around us. We do a lot of food events, and then we try to hit like the big major holidays celebrated in China. We're also trying to strengthen like our relations with international students, since I know it is a very different experience being a Chinese American student versus being a Chinese international student. So that's one of our big goals this year. But yeah.
I can go next. So my student work is CSSS, which is Chinese Students and Scholars Society. So we are the international Chinese student work that on campus, which is we're founded by the Chinese Embassy. But we also have our own sponsors. And one of the three largest international student work, also Chinese student work on campus. So what we do primarily, what we do is basically we connect with international students here at Ohio State who are from China. We offer them support in terms of from immigration services, how to navigate through that, and also things with food, culture, and offer them with a community for them to make friends with each other here at Ohio State when on campus. We're literally on a different continent compared with where we came from. Yeah.
For Hong Kong SA, our purpose is to help new Hong Kong students adapt to their life at OSU and help establish a community among the students who shares Cantonese heritage. We also try to connect with other Hong Kong SAs in America. We strive to raise awareness of the vibrant culture of Hong Kong within OSU community and also connect to those who have an interest in Chinese culture. Some of the past events that we've did was a Netflix party, hot pot, it's very, very good, dim sum, skiing, and bowling.
So obviously we're all from different organizations. So I'm just wondering, do you guys have any idea how Chinese and Korean cultures influence each other, especially
today? I think sorry. The one thing that pops into mind now is Mid-Autumn Festival. I think Korean calls that Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that's something we share. That I'm not sure who started it or how, but yeah.
I know we also have like overlapping number systems because I did a study abroad in Korea and I was learning Korean, and I know like I want to say it's like the what numbers we use for time are the same, or like you guys have a system that's like very closely related to ours.
I think there's a lot of Korean words and Chinese words that sound the same.
Mhm.
I know they call countries very similarly because like in Korean it's like Miguk is America, and then like in Chinese it's like Meiguo. So like Guo and Guk are the same, and they just change the first word to indicate like each country or whatever.
Yeah.
I think also like just have a language, we all use Hanzi. I think that's like one thing that's really similar from our culture, because like I think that it's in a lot, like when I was in Korea, like, I can read from like some of it, but like not everything. Yeah.
I feel like another thing is food. Do you guys possibly know any like Chinese Korean fusions possibly?
I feel like jjajangmyeon isn't like something we have
Yeah.
like in it's like really popular in the northern part of China. Like it's also like really popular in Korea too.
And I know you guys have like mandu and we have like dumplings. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know the difference. I just feel like it's like filling and shape, but those are like usually up to whoever makes them. So like I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever heard of tang soup? It's like fried pork with this like sweet and sour kind of sauce. I don't know if you guys ever tried it, but that's also a Korean Chinese fusion. Or it's like a Koreanized version of a Chinese dish.
I was gonna say I think like tteokbokki and then like rice cakes for us are like we don't really make it the same way because my dad makes there's like the round ones and then there's like cylindrical ones, and I always thought the round ones were Chinese and the cylindrical ones were Korean, but apparently that's not true. But I just know that the Korean ones, like those are like kind of sweet and spicy, and then the Chinese ones, like my dad always makes it with like shrimp and bok choy, and it's more like savory almost.
Do you guys have any good Chinese restaurants that you guys recommend around campus or like somewhere in Ohio?
They,
I think I know a few places where they serve somewhat authentic Chinese food, more of like the, let's say, like Guangdong Cantonese province area, like Ming flour, sunflower, like that.
I think TY Ginger is like a really good place to eat like dim sum. Like it's really authentic from my opinion. Like I only been to like Cantonese area like once, so I tried it there. It's really good, and also like I think another one is like really unique is the Ringnan Crossing Bridge noodles. That place
That
is
one's so
good.
good.
And it's so authentic because like they don't just cook it for you, because they actually make it a way like they serve like every single like ingredients like in small dishes, then they let you to pull it in there by yourself, because I think that's like how people eat it in the Ringnan province of like China, because like they call it crossing bridge because you're almost like crossing the bridge every single time you put something in, and the bridge should be like the noodles or the chopsticks. I forgot.
Yeah, I really like that one. I think it just opened up before COVID hit, but my other personal fave is Lucky Dragon. It's really good for like spicy foods because my family's from the Hunan, um, you know, province, so like we love spicy food.
If you guys are looking for good Korean recommendations, there's a restaurant called Pongmi, which is just like more of an authentic Korean kind of restaurant. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Golgi. It's like a Korean barbecue restaurant, obviously, and it's really good if you guys want to check that out. And then another thing that's I feel like Chinese and Koreans have been influencing with each other is K-pop. Do you guys possibly listen to K-pop?
Yes,
Yes.
Blackpink's my favorite group.
My favorite is 17 just because that was like the first group that I was introduced to. But I also really like Stray Kids and like obviously BTS. So
Mm-hmm.
Single artists, I feel like I listen to a lot of Lehigh.
Oh, Lehi's good.
Yeah.
It's like we've been seeing a lot of Chinese members in Korean pop music lately. Like in 17, that's Jessica's favorite band. There's Jun, who's Chinese, and then I don't know if you guys know who EXO is, but Lay was also. I don't know if EXO is still together, but he was Chinese.
no, yeah. Minghao from 17 is also Chinese, And then my favorite EXO member used to be Chen, but yeah, he left for sure.
Is EXO done or are they still a thing?
I think there are a few members are in the military, right? Dio, or am I wrong? I don't know. It hasn't been 2 years yet. Shuming. I forgot his Korean name, but I think he's also in the military. So, yeah.
Sorry, I was muted. I think it's like, one of the member, Chris Wu, like he was in there, like he returned to like China. He started his like own hip hop show, like Chinese hip hop, like it's called like Chinese New Hip Hop. So like that was really popular in China in 2019, I think. But like he got into some trouble. He was making jokes of like random inappropriate jokes. But like he also plays in a lot of movies now. I think he got popular from EXO.
Oh, another person I thought of, not Chris. Sorry, you just said Chris. Jackson Wang from GOT7. He's from Hong Kong.
Oh yeah,
He blew up recently too, I feel.
I feel like some like
sorry.
I feel like some like Chinese artists have started to pick up like K-pop style, and so like C-pop hasn't really been a thing, like a huge thing for a while, but I feel like I've noticed a lot more of them have more of like the K-pop B vibes now versus like the traditional like Chinese song styles.
This just brings up like the I think K-pop has like Produce 101, and then China did something similar with like Lisa in it. They're like, I feel like they're and then Running Man, China did something like that.
Running Man, like I think it's called Running Bros, like in Chinese, like the our reality show that was really popular. I think that was popular since I was a kid, like from 2013 or something. I know a lot of countries did like similar things. I think from Thailand they have a similar show called School Rangers. Like that's what literally like it's just from Running Man. Yeah.
I had no idea. No, you're fine. You're fine.
I think NCT has like their own Chinese line, like Wavy, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, we can transition from there. We do want to talk about Shanghai Night and talk a little about what that event is and how's it going to work. And
so so Shanghai Night in the past has always been like kind of like it's supposed to take you back to a game night in Shanghai in like the 1920s era kind of. So that's where we have like the round game tables and like the chips that you can like play, and then like if you collect the most chips you like win a prize. But since it's going to be online, it's kind of hard to emulate that for an online event. We thought that this year we would transition more to like an internet cafe, because those are also very popular in China, and that's where you would play a lot of the games that we've like chosen to have in the event this year. So like now it's supposed to be more like you're like social distancing, playing with your friends, like that kind of stuff.
I think CSSS joined this year, so like traditionally like we never collaborated with like CASA on this before. So I think like as like Jessica said, like I've known like this event from the past, like it's really placed like in the idea of like 1920s like in Shanghai, because Shanghai was like I think it was a colony from France like for a really long time. So there was like a region developed with like really into like big like gambling culture. So it looks like a Las Vegas gambling, but with the sense of like, you know, that kind of Chinese culture. There's actually a word for it. Is like in Chinese like Mandarin we say like a night Shanghai. So like it's like Ye Shanghai. So it's a word used to describe like, you know, super popular nightclubs, or like it's just a vibe of like people being together and have like a nightlife.
Yeah. So attendees can sign up either individually or in a group, and then they're also free to switch between rooms to play different games as they want. And then some of the games we have are like let's see, blackjack, poker, mahjong.
Yeah, I was about to say we chose to have our event from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. to help accommodate for the international students, since a lot of CSSS members are in China, and we want to like have some overlap where it's like not too early for them and like not too late for us. But I feel like if you are going to a internet cafe, you're usually like out for the night, like you're not really trying to go home and do homework afterwards. So we thought having it like go a little bit into the early morning kind of fits the Chinese nightlife vibe, because we also have like food vendors that come out at midnight. Like they don't come out before that, and it's kind of like a second dinner almost for us. So it's like pretty normal on like a Friday, Saturday night to like see people out and about at 1 a.m. So it's not like a crazy time to be up over there either.
Yeah. Kind of touch on that photo vendor a little bit. Feel free to cut this out, like, but kind of touch on the photo vendor a little bit. So like if you all know, like there's a restaurant, I think like she talked about this a little bit, like I think it called Ming Moon. So like it only opens at 5 p.m. So it's like really stereotypical type of like Chinese street food, like a barbecue. Like back to home, like actually like me and my friends, we go to like clubs, go see a movie, or like we go to the internet cafe, then after we get out, we actually go eat like barbecue. It just sit like in the opening area. So that's like part of the nightlife culture we really have. I think that is a really reasonable time, and like I think a lot of international students are looking forward to participate, but like especially in events as with like domestic students this year, like I think Shanghai Night is a really great opportunity for them to do so.
Well, we want to thank you guys for joining us today on the KBS podcast. How do you want people to come contact you, your clubs?
So for Hong Kong SA, you can come reach out at us through Facebook. Our Facebook is HKSA Ohio State. Shoot us a message there, or you can follow us on Instagram, which is also Ohio State HKSA.
You can reach out to Citrus Press at our social media, our major social media on WeChat, so feel free to follow us. It's called 中国学生学者联合会, 俄州大中国学生学者联合会. That's our WeChat handle. And for our Gmail, if you want to email us, is c3sosu@gmail.com. And our Instagram is CSSS@OSU. So like feel free to follow us. Yeah, and if you want a collaboration or just want to reach out to us.
Okay, yeah. So for the Chinese American Student Association, you can join our Facebook group, which is just Chinese American Student Association at The Ohio State University, or you can follow us on Instagram at CASA at OSU. And then we also have a Discord, which is on both of those if you want to join for that and more games later. But we would love to see you come out to Shanghai Night, which is October 9th from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. on Zoom and Discord.
Wow, Shanghai Night sounds like a lot of fun. I'd be interested in going.
Yeah, I learned a lot today about how like Korean and Chinese cultures influence each other.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We learned a lot. Thank you again for all three clubs for joining us today, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next KBS podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.